Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Barbershop Group podcast. Today, I've got Dr. Poulter, the author of The Shame Factor, on the show. You guys know all about the book by now. You can go
Yes.
to tbgmen.com and purchase that book right from the website. Go to tbgmen.com/merchandise and you can purchase it on our website.
Yes.
Dr. Poulter, it's good to have you on the show. How are you
It's great to
today?
be Charles. It's great to be here. We're warm weather out here. How are you guys back there in the
Oh man,
east?
it's kind of rainy, kind of cool.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
okay. It's okay.
Yeah, it's good, man. It's good to be here, and
Yeah,
I love talking about men's health and
yeah,
all the different components of it.
right. So today, guys, we are going to talk about
Hmm.
some signs of happy marriages. Okay, we're going to talk about some signs of happy marriages, real signs of happy marriages, not this stuff that you see like floating around on
Fluff.
social media
No, no,
and
no. We're
these
talking legit.
the memes and think legit stuff. So, Doc, check it out.
Yeah.
Um, in an interview years ago, okay, Jane Pauley, right, and I know you know who Jane Pauley
I do.
is, but
Okay. Now, okay. Come on. I have gray hair.
okay, but some of you listeners out there might not know
Who's he?
Who
Yeah.
Jane Pauley is. So,
She was born
um,
after Babe Ruth. Okay.
yeah, she was. You can Google Jane Pauley if you don't know. She was on the Today Show for a number of years. With who
Years.
was that? Who
Yep.
was that with Brian Gumble? Wasn't it? Wasn't she on the
Brian
Today Show
Gumbo.
with Brian Gumble?
Yeah.
That's right.
Then he
Yeah,
went to HBO. Yep.
yeah, he did that thing.
Hmm.
So in an interview years ago, Jane Pauley asked a family and relationship researcher by the name of John Dufresne. Okay, she asked
Hmm.
him what he thought was the major cause of divorce in America, right?
Hmm.
And he actually said marriage is the cause of divorce in America. Like, what? He said marriage was the cause of divorce in America. Now he
Oh
wasn't, guys, check it out. He wasn't being that flippant. He was being a little bit,
no,
cheeky,
but
but
he's being a researcher.
he was what he was talking about was the many obstacles to happy long-term unions, right? And he said marriage is putting two people together under the same roof and dumping all of their problems of the world on top of their heads. Okay.
Okay, fair
All
enough.
right. That is
Fair
right.
enough.
That's what
Yeah.
I thought.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Seriously,
Right.
man. Yeah. Okay.
So,
Bringing the whole.
you know,
Yeah. Bring it all in.
he continued by saying, look, guys, society is set up to satisfy business interests, but society is not set up to satisfy family interests. And I got to tell you, Doc, I'm with him. I agree with him. Okay.
No, unfortunately, Charles, I remember hearing about this years ago because
Yeah.
that was a bomb,
Yes.
a
Yeah.
nuclear bomb.
Yeah. A lot of people don't like to think about that. And today, he said that a long time ago. But even today in 2021, as you look out there, Doc, whether when
Hmm.
you look at programming, when you look at TV, the internet, social media, all these places where a lot of people are really getting their information from, you don't see society talking about family interests. You see
Hmm.
society talking about individual interests and
Hmm.
solving
Yes.
individual problems, but you don't see organizations and whole bodies or governments or any our government or anyone talking about uh, uh, addressing family interests and family problems, not on a level like that. You see,
No.
and so he said there are all these forces against couples and against families, and they don't have any organization to protect them. They don't have allies like a union or a party. They have to figure it
Right.
all out for themselves. And isn't that the truth?
It really is, Charles, because our friend Charles Dobson is
Mhm.
one of the reasons why he created
James
Focus on the.
Dobson.
Excuse
Yeah,
me,
James Dobson.
James
Yeah.
Dobson. Right.
Mhm.
Focus on the family for that
Focus on the
very
family.
reason.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, for that
Some support.
very reason, for some support. Okay. And the interesting thing about focus on the family, Doc, is that I I did a thing where I went to my social media, and you can see what people like and you see what everybody follows and whatever.
Yeah.
And it was interesting that I have one person in my entire list besides me that follows focus on the family. Wow. What does that tell you?
We're we are behind. We're way
Mm,
behind. We're way
Oh my
behind.
goodness. You know,
That was,
and I'll say this, Doc. I'm gonna say this, right? Really quick, because
yeah.
there's some therapists out there who are gonna be like, oh, this guy gets on my nerve. But listen,
Mm-mm.
I have an issue with how no one talks the way they used to talk about marital relationships.
Yes.
We
I'm
don't
writing that
even
down.
like to use the
Mm-mm.
word husband, wife, spouse anymore.
Because
Okay.
Charles, there's so much, we got to get away from negative masculinity,
Mm-hmm. Right.
hostile feminism,
Mm-hmm.
and let's get back to the middle.
To the middle. Thank you.
Let's
The
get back to the
middle.
middle. Come on,
Okay.
let's get back
The
to the middle.
middle. Yeah. So there are a lot of entities out there that are not pushing for the institution of family and marriage. Okay. So look, Doc, I got a question, and we're going to talk about this, right?
Okay, I'm all ears.
What we want to focus on is how do marriages stay happy when there's no organization out there that's really focused on it, right? Even and I'll tell you that even some religious organizations have taken the focus away from family and marriage and have started focusing more on single life for people today.
Charles,
Okay.
I could not agree with you more. As a
Mhm.
clinical psychologist, I've
Mhm.
had more couples work since February of 2020
Yeah.
in the last 18 months
Okay.
because the shutdown had people look at what's our relationship? What is the
Mm-hmm.
intimate relationship?
Mm-hmm.
Because we got nothing else to
Mm-hmm.
do. You look at each other across the room. What are we doing?
Right, right. So
What are we doing?
before that, it was virtually unaddressed. It was like, you know, we got all these other things going on. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Charles, the thing about single life, the numbers keep increasing, but we're
Mm-hmm.
wired, Charles,
Mm-hmm.
for intimate relationships. We're wired. 98% of us are
Okay,
we're wired
so
that.
thank you for saying that. Now I'm going to make Psychology Today mad because just
Please.
yesterday on Psychology Today's website, and I'm not a fan of Psychology Today. So if you're a therapist out there and you got your bio up on Psychology Today and you're paying that guy, you know, adding to his $29 million that he makes a year, I'm not a fan of Psychology Today. But Psychology Today, one of the therapists put up an article about how marriage, women who are in long-term marriages are more depressed as a result of their long-term marriages. And I'm like, guys, time out. When are some of you therapists going to step back and realize that you are not helping the institution of marriage at all?
Charles, I wrote the book called Your X Factor,
Mm-hmm.
How to Overcome Heartbreak and Build a Better Life. The
Yeah.
reason why, Charles, is that married men report the highest level of satisfaction. Married women report the lowest level of satisfaction of all the different groups.
Yeah.
And what we're not doing is, okay, as therapists, healers, why is the gap? Why is there a gap?
Yeah.
Charles.
Yeah.
That's what you're going to hit on. And this is where men, as we step up, you know, where we step up and start addressing marriage as something good, regardless of race or religion or spirituality, Charles, we all do better when we feel loved.
That's right.
Can we go there?
You're right about that. You're right about that. So let's talk about it, Leo, because we actually do want to address marriage and we want to show the good stuff about marriage and not have, because if you look at the internet, if you look at social media, you have people who've been married for 20 or 30 years, they read one little meme and they'll be ready to divorce their spouse. Hold up, time out. Let's not do that. So let's talk about happy marriages. What's the first thing? One of the first things is what, Doc?
Friends. Charles, there's an old saying.
Yes.
You can love somebody and never like them, but if you like someone long enough, you're going to love them.
Yeah. Right. So they're friends. They're friends, right?
Friends. Yes. And I'm not, Charles, all the guys I know that enjoy their partners like them.
Yeah.
They like them. They don't avoid them.
Right.
And Charles, when you're friends, you want to be around your friends.
That's true.
And one of them has to be your partner.
Right. That's right.
You got your partner. But Charles, Charles, I got guys that don't really like their wife. And I'm like, you got to find a way to like her.
Yes. Yeah, I hear you. So you're talking about the sound relationship house, right? So they've got to be friends. So you're talking about caring, fondness,
Mm-hmm.
admiration, things like that, right?
Hey, Charles, you gas up her car.
Okay.
Okay. You go
Yeah.
get her coffee when you're out getting coffee.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
It's the
Yeah.
little acts that
Mm-hmm.
breed great love. It's little
Yes.
acts of friendship, Charles. Let me tell you,
Mm-hmm.
people look at marriage thing as a bad word. I can tell you, I don't have a single person in my practice who doesn't want to get married. I don't care
Got
what they
you.
say.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Right.
Okay.
Right. I hear you. I
But
hear
these are
you.
7 keys. And you'll put this up on the website, Charles, these 7
Yes.
points.
7 points. That's right. 7 points. One of the things that I think about when you talk about liking your wife, right? I think
Yes.
about one of the things that you don't do when you like someone is you don't do bad stuff to that person. Right? It's very simple.
Okay. I just rolled my
You
eyes.
know?
Okay. Boom.
Yeah.
Charles,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
when you like somebody, there's the key word, and
Mm-hmm.
it's respect.
Right. Right.
Charles, I respect
It's
your time.
respect. Yes.
When you like
Respect.
somebody, you
Very good.
respect them. Okay.
Right. And I'm glad you mentioned that, because when we say that one of these, that to the first point, them being friends,
Mhm.
that's a great thing. Here's the other thing that's kind of like point 1B to that, and
Yeah.
that is that you and your wife are good friends, right? But within that, she's not your only friend. You're
Right.
also allowed to
Right.
have other
Other
healthy friends.
Charles,
Okay.
I had a woman come in yesterday. She's got
Hmm.
other friends. You
Yes.
know, he's got none. She feels overburdened.
Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely.
And Charles,
Totally.
men
Hmm.
men do better when we have some other buddies. I mean, you can watch
Right.
a game, go for a walk. I mean,
Yeah.
whatever. It doesn't have to be
Right.
drinking buddies, just
Right.
friends. Okay.
Absolutely. Just reliable guys that
Yep.
are in your
You
circle.
check in with.
Okay.
Yep. In
Yeah,
your
you're right.
circle.
You're right. So what is number 2, Doc? What's the second thing on the
Charles,
list?
this one, if I had to prioritize, I'd make
Hmm.
this number 2. You think like a team. There's
You
no
think like a team? Yeah. Hmm.
my kids. No, our kids. My house.
Got
No,
it.
it's our house.
Got
It's
it.
our
Okay.
trip. Charles, okay, I'm gonna touch on a slippery slope.
Yeah.
Our money.
Our money. No, whoa, not my
There's
money. Our money.
bingo.
Mm.
Charles,
Okay.
when guys say our money,
Yeah.
I don't usually see them in a conflicted divorce.
I see. Okay.
When I
And
hear
so
my money,
yeah.
Houston, we got a problem.
Hmm. Yeah, because that's that whole tug of war starting right there, right? So
Hey, Charles.
when they think in a joint way together, then
Yes,
if it's about divorce, they can have a more amicable divorce at that point.
understanding.
Yeah, yeah, okay, I understand
Charles,
that. I
when
get
I
that.
hear the first pronoun, when I hear I, me, no,
Uh-huh.
us, and we,
Yeah.
we got to brought time out. Charles, I have
Mm,
not seen that
okay.
work well. If you don't think like a team, you're
Yeah.
not bonded. And we're not going to get in the psychology of relationships, but
Hmm.
Charles, part of success is that we're a
Yeah.
team.
Right. So let's talk about a couple points really, really
Yes.
quick, right? So when you're in that type of team, in that type of partnership, right, you have a heightened level of empathy towards your wife. Okay.
Yes.
um
Mm-hmm.
so if your wife has a problem, it's not her problem, it's our
Our
problem,
problem.
right?
Yeah. Yep. And if she has a
Okay.
problem with her parents and
Hmm.
can't pick them up,
Hmm.
you might think about how you can help her out and go pick them up and bring them over.
Yeah, yeah,
It sounds
absolutely,
okay. Well, how
absolutely.
about the kids, Charles? How about
Hmm.
getting the kids around
Yeah.
all ages?
So here's one for you guys out there. You've got children with your wife, and you guys are getting ready to go somewhere for the evening or for the day. The worst thing that you can do to your wife, the worst thing that you can do to your wife is get yourself ready, sit
Oh
back and
no.
watch her run around the house to try to get all the kids ready. Okay,
Oh,
just dude, that is not
Charles.
being a team member. Okay,
Charles,
you're not
that
being a
is.
partner at that point.
Oh my God, that is being in. I'm not even sure what the right word is. Yeah, I'm not sure the right word is, but
Yeah,
you are
yeah,
not. You're in a. You're.
yeah.
Oh God. Yeah.
So
You're
I'll tell
acting
you
bad,
what,
poorly.
you're not being an interdependent partner at that point. You're not being a reliable partner, husband at
Charles,
that point. Okay.
men that think like a team member,
Hmm.
their wife, it breeds love. It breeds nothing but positive outcomes.
Hmm.
It's the little stuff, Charles,
Yeah. Yeah.
helping out. I'm
Little
talking
things.
little things, man.
Hmm. Yeah.
I tell you, when a guy says, "Hey, what can I do to help?"
Yeah.
I'll do the dishes. Okay,
Right.
I'll do the
Right.
dishes. I,
Absolutely.
Charles, it sounds, you guys, it sounds trivial. This
Hmm.
stuff is cement to your relationship.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Cement.
Let's talk about, so little things. So, I'll give you guys an example of something. If your spouse, asks for a hug after she's had a long day, a rough day at work, or been dealing with the kids, right? Half the time you're happy to do it, but sometimes you snap at her or you're annoyed with her
Hmm.
because, she's leaning into you in that way. She's probably going to learn that she can't count on you 100% of the time for something small, right? So, a lot of people refer to
Hmm.
those types of things as attachment injuries. Is that right, Doc?
Absolutely, man. And
Yeah.
Charles, over time, it builds the Grand Canyon between you.
I see.
Charles,
Got it.
it's that
Got it.
little stuff. Hey, when a guy comes home, and I'm guilty of it, being distracted and you miss the ball, and
Yeah. Mm.
you got to circle back,
Yeah,
circle,
absolutely.
circle back.
Yep. Yep.
And Charles,
Yep.
one thing James Dobson says, you have to leave something in the tank for when you get home. You
Okay.
got to leave a
Got it.
little bit in the tank. That's the
Yeah,
team.
and it's funny because one of my good friends and a member of the Barbershop Group, he said something to me a couple of weeks ago, and he said, he said, my job isn't the job that I do when I leave home and clock in, you can go to work. He said, believe it or not, my job, the main function of my job is to make sure that I come home at night and I'm in the bed laying next to my wife at night and I'm answering her however she needs me. When I walk through the door,
Yep.
he said, that's when my real job starts.
Charles, I'm with him 300%.
Okay.
Guys that do that, Charles, their
Yeah.
wife is feels cared for. And we're not
Right.
talking diamonds and pearls. We're talking
Uh-huh.
one thing you can't buy in life is love.
That's
That's
right.
love.
Absolutely. So,
When a
Doc,
woman, yeah,
let's talk. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Finish your point
when a
before we
woman
go to number
feels
three.
loved, Charles, when a
Yeah.
woman feels loved and cared,
Uh-huh.
when I say loved, I'm
Yeah.
not talking, I'm talking like what your friend, part of the
Yeah.
barbershop group just said. Let me tell you something right
Yeah.
now, Charles. If that's all we talk about today, that's a home run.
That's it.
That's it.
Mhm.
And I
Right.
tell guys that are courting a woman, how you treat her emotionally is why she's going to marry you.
I see. Okay.
Not what you do for her, but how
Yeah.
you treat her
How you
emotionally.
treat her emotionally. Mhm.
Emotionally, Charles. And that's what
Right.
this is all about.
Yeah. So what's the
Emotional
third
intelligence,
thing?
guys.
What's the third thing, Doc? What's
Oh,
the third point to happy marriages?
Charles, you accentuate the positive.
Uh-huh.
And the positive is, yeah, you come home. I hear this all the time. Guys,
Hmm.
the house is a mess. How about the fact that mom was home all day and nobody went to the hospital? Kids are fed, they're getting stuff done.
Right.
And the
So
teenager,
natural optimism, right?
yeah, natural optimism. Hey, listen, Charles, there's always something good to find. I tell that.
Yeah.
Gratitude's a good one. How about the fact this woman still wants to be with you? I tell
Right.
guys that. I go,
Right.
you're no
Right.
peach, okay?
Yes. Yeah. 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 It's about definitely being
Positive,
grateful, being positive and being
grateful,
grateful. Because that positivity and that gratefulness kind of, pushes
pays a lot of
contempt.
bills.
Yeah, it pays a lot of bills and it pushes contempt out the room.
Contempt can't grow when you're
Mhm.
positive.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely.
Charles, contempt's like shame. When
Yeah.
it's exposed, it's gone.
Hmm. Hmm. So one of the things that I think about when I listen to that point is that, practicing optimism, practicing gratitude is kind of like a booster shot for our romantic relationships.
Yes. And
Mhm.
Charles, absolutely. Because good romance starts in the kitchen, not in the bedroom.
In the kitchen.
In the kitchen, man.
Yeah.
Literally in the kitchen. I mean,
Okay.
tell you, you're taking the trash out and you're paying attention without being nagged. I hate to say nagged.
Hmm.
If you're doing that kind of stuff, Charles, that's
Yeah.
that's positive, man.
Yeah. Okay, I hear you. So one of the last points that I will make regarding this positivity is this two
Yeah.
questions that you guys can ask yourselves when you are dealing with your wives, right?
Yeah.
One is, do I give you the benefit of a doubt? All right.
Huge.
Because a lot of times, we want to jump to conclusions, we assume, and it just ends up going
Mm-hmm.
somewhere where we don't want it to be. And the second thing is this: can I be curious instead of furious when I have a conflict with
Ooh.
you? Can we be curious instead of furious when we have a conflict with our spouses, right? That's really, really big for everybody out there, because that's going to activate empathy as
Yes.
opposed to accusatory statements and positions, right? So
Charles.
you're opening the door,
Mm-hmm.
right? Instead of closing the door.
Yeah.
Okay.
Charles, when men are accusing their wives and that energy, I'm going to say it, she's not your mother.
Mm,
She's
yeah.
not your mother.
Right. I'm with you. I hear you.
And if you got rage at that level, I'm telling you, take a step back. That's not her.
Yeah.
Not at that level. That's coming
Okay.
from the past.
I understand.
That's
Okay.
coming from the past. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah. What about number four? What's
Ooh,
the fourth thing?
Charles, this is a big deal breaker.
Yeah.
Stress. Stress
Okay.
is doing day-to-day living. Okay. You know,
Okay.
Charles, you work 100, you probably minimum work 60 hours a week. You've got a lot of moving parts. How
Hmm.
we manage that
Yeah.
with our partner,
Hmm.
kids or no kids, how we manage that, Charles, is that we don't project onto her. Project means take it out on her.
Right.
Take it out on
Right.
her.
Yeah. So let's talk about this stress piece for a minute, because
Yep.
it's really important. A lot of times when we think about the stress, we focus on the stress, but I'm gonna bring it back to another thing, and that's your personality traits, right? So
Ooh.
our personality traits, our attachment styles, right, have a
Mm-hmm.
lot to do with how we deal with that stress and how we
Yes.
behave in a relationship as a result, right?
Charles, and part of managing stress is staying out of despair and panic. Because at the end of
Okay.
the day, if you're despairing, you can't see her. If you're
I see.
panicking, you can't see her.
Hmm.
And guys say, well, who supports me? You need to support yourself first. You got to get
Yeah.
balanced.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Then
I see.
as a couple, we can do that. Charles, I keep going the overlap. Okay.
Yeah.
Overlap, not eclipsed each other,
Okay.
but
Uh-huh.
managing it together.
Mm.
Manage it together. We're a team.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's go back to team.
Got it. It's
We're,
funny that we're talking about the team concept, right? Because there's one particular therapist who, when he's doing couples therapy and they're having these heightened discussions, he actually encourages the couple, both the man and the woman, to wear a heart monitor. Okay.
oh, I love that.
And he said the
Love that.
reason why he has them wear a heart monitor is because he looks at the physiology of
Mm-hmm.
conflict and stress. So he's like, when your heart rate is over 100 beats per second, then our cognitive functioning is impaired, right? It goes
No,
down.
Charles,
Yes.
and Charles, impaired's a nice word. It's not working. There's no impairment. It's not working. Charles,
Okay.
the cars are neutral. It's nothing good's happening.
I got you. I understand. Yeah. So that's the
Nothing good.
reason why he does
Mm-mm.
that, is to really, really see how they deal with things when
Mm-hmm.
the heart rate is up. And as you heard Dr. Poulter say, yeah, you're not doing much at that point, you
No,
know.
no, no. You need to bring
So
it down. Yeah,
what's the fifth
really.
point?
Charles, this is a great one. How to manage conflict. And I'm going to go with
Mhm.
the one word, no
Okay.
blaming.
No blaming. Okay.
I had a
So I
guy
mean,
in
there's
my
there's two
office.
words, but okay, one
Yeah,
word.
yeah, yeah.
Don't
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
no blaming.
Blame,
No
blame,
blaming. Yeah.
blame. Charles
Blame.
had a
Got
guy
it.
in my office yesterday. His wife
Yeah.
was talking and he corrected her grammar.
Oh no, he
And,
didn't.
and I looked at him, I go, that's the height of arrogance.
Okay. How did how
That
did
is,
his wife respond to that when he did that?
uh, she looked through him. She didn't look at him. She looked right through him. You
Mm.
guys know that look.
Oh boy.
I
Yeah.
looked at him, I go, that's the height of
Mhm.
arrogance. And stop trying to control the room.
Yeah, that guy's not he's not getting the cookie when he gets home. He's not
Oh,
getting the
no,
cookie. That dude
he
didn't
was
get
not.
the cookie he didn't get the
No.
cookie last night.
Mm. And he also looked at me like I betrayed him. I said, dude, that's the height of arrogance.
Right.
You
Right.
correct your wife's speech,
Mm.
Now, if she's calling you names, that's something else.
Okay.
I'm talking about grammar. I'm talking
Yeah.
about really legitimately.
Yep. Good.
Charles, we
I'm
would call
so
that an,
glad you mentioned that. I'm
yeah.
so
And we're
glad you.
talking, I hate to say the word, what an asshole. I know it's
Right.
not a good word. Okay, I'm
But
a
no, but
professional.
you're right. But you're right, because he was focusing on something that by and large, I mean, it's grammar.
Doesn't
She's
matter.
probably not too, it doesn't matter. It's what I like to call unfixable, you know,
Yeah.
unfixable. You
Ooh,
see,
good
and here's
stuff.
what's interesting about this being unfixable. You know, a lot of marriage and family therapists are like, look,
Mm,
there's about 69, 70% of stuff in conflict that's actually, it's small and it's not in need of being fixed.
it's
Isn't
trivial.
that crazy? That's
Charles is so
come on.
accurate. Charles,
Okay.
that famous book, Don't Sweat the Small Stuff.
Right.
So I
Right.
said to him, rather than worry about her grammar,
Mm-hmm.
what was she saying to you?
Okay.
He looked at me like I had 3 heads. Forget about. His
Mm,
wife goes, that's why we don't talk.
I see. I see. So let me
Mm,
mention something that's really
go
really
ahead.
important on this topic. Okay. It sounds like there is a pattern. All right. It
Yeah,
sounds like
go with that.
there's a pattern of her behavior, and then he responded a certain way, and he just totally whiffed it on recognizing the pattern. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
yes. And the pattern is he also dismisses her. I'm sorry, I
okay.
jumped in.
Hmm. Yeah.
That's
He
managing
dismisses.
conflict
Yeah.
is not dismissing your partner.
Right. Got it. Huh.
Charles,
Man,
if I
that's
dismiss my
interesting.
partner, I have now mismanaged. I don't care what we're talking about, from
Hmm.
the restaurant to our retirement fund and everything in
Hmm.
between.
Yeah.
I have mismanaged that I have now made another conflict.
Right. That's right. And it's one that you played an active role in. So let's talk
Yep.
about something for a minute to get to you know, a place where, you know, we're managing conflict well, right? In order to do
Yes.
that, it's very important that we understand our individual characteristics. Again, like I said, that we understand our personality traits and our
Yep.
attachment styles, right? So individual characteristics, you know, it's really broad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it can be very, very broad, but you know, it includes stuff like, you know, understanding why we react the way we do,
Mm-hmm.
really trying to understand our partner and why they react the way they do, and not having a judgment about what it is that we discover, right?
Right. Right. Right.
That's really key. And I think
Charles,
so.
that's a huge
Yeah.
word. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
You just
Mhm.
said judgment. That
Yeah,
is that's there with dismissal.
I see. Okay.
I use the words interchangeably.
Mm, I
If I'm
see.
judging her, I've dismissed her opinion.
Okay. I
And
see.
if I dismiss her, there's I don't give her value.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm,
I mean,
okay.
that's a huge word, judgment.
No, no, no. I hear judgment,
Yeah.
no judgment. You know, so you said no
Ooh,
blaming. I'm saying no judgment. So we know if we can avoid the blame, if we can avoid the judgment, now we're talking about getting closer to resolving conflict, to talk, to even hearing the conflict and then coming up with a solution. So what's number
yep.
6, Doc? What's number
Charles,
6
if you don't
for
do
you?
number 5, yeah, if you don't do 5, well, there is no number 6, enjoying time
Okay.
together.
Okay. All right. Yep. You're right. Because I don't want to look at you. I don't want to be
I don't want to
around
be
you.
around you. I don't want to be around you.
Right.
Mm-mm. And let me
Right.
tell you something. If your partner doesn't want to be around you, you need to
Mhm.
figure out why and how to get around her.
I see. I
Find a
see.
way
Yeah.
back in.
So yeah. So happy couples enjoy spending time
See?
together. Now, this looks like it's a no-brainer. It sounds like it's really a
Oh,
no-brainer. But if you think about it,
mm,
we all probably know at least one couple who doesn't seem to enjoy doing anything together, right? So there'll be a woman, you know, maybe
mm-hmm.
all she wants to do with her free time is play video games, and her husband gets frustrated trying to get her to engage or go to
Yeah.
social events, right? Or, for example, maybe, you know, going out to dinner is a miserable thing because he always complains about the cost of the dinner.
Ooh.
Maybe they take the kids to the park, but they focus on the kids' safety instead of the kids' enjoyment, you know. and
Yeah.
then they're not engaging and enjoying each other's time. So yeah, so you really have to take a look at when you are with your wife, are you actually like checked into enjoying the time that you're with your wife? I don't care how much time you have with her. It could be 20 minutes, it could be 4 hours. Are you focusing on enjoying the time that you have with her?
Right on.
Yeah.
Charles, spending time together
Mhm.
in psychology called the theory of proximity.
Okay.
You tend to like the people that you're around the most. That's why at work, a
Okay.
lot of our friends, because we're with them all the time, we tend to enjoy
Hmm.
them. So
I see. I see.
you get it?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I
And Charles, you
understand
spend
that
time
too.
with your partner. Let me tell you, I do it
Uh-huh.
with my wife. We go for
Yeah.
walks, maybe
Okay.
20 minutes. Charles, that's golden for
Yeah.
us.
Going for the
And we
walk.
both enjoy it.
Hmm.
With the dogs, no dogs, kids, no kids, but we walk.
I see. Great. Okay.
That's it.
That's a good
It's
one.
something
That's a
simple.
good one. Yeah.
It's simple.
Okay.
And
But the
Charles,
focus is
us,
the enjoyment of
right.
each other. Right.
And Charles,
Hmm.
I tell guys, go when your wife goes shopping, go with
Yeah.
her.
Oh
I
my
hate grocery
God, that
shopping.
hurts. Oh my God. Oh, who wants to do that, Doc? Come on.
But let me tell you, after a while, can I tell you something, Charles? It's
Yeah,
not that bad because
not
she
that
loves
bad.
it.
I
It's not that
understand.
bad. She
Yeah.
loves it.
Right.
Charles, and after a while, because she's so appreciative of you going with her,
Hmm.
it's amazing what other good things happen. I'm talking about,
I
I'm not
understand.
talking about,
Right.
I'm talking about just in general.
Right.
In general,
I
good stuff
understand
happens.
that.
But Charles,
Yeah.
going grocery shopping, I got guys that
Hmm.
start doing that. They're looking at me like,
Yeah.
I'd rather get root canal than get root canal. Get
I
root.
see. I
Talk to
got
Dr.
you.
J,
Yeah.
Dr. Grossman. He knows.
Yeah. Wow, that's funny.
That,
He'll be waiting for you. He'll be waiting for you.
oh
So
yeah,
what's the seventh one, Doc?
Charles. Boy, this is. I don't know why we don't talk this more.
Uh-huh.
You have to have the same. You share a worldview, same values, worldview
Hmm.
values, and I'm not talking about. You can be different aisles in politics, but it's bigger than that.
Hmm.
About how you
Okay.
value relationships, children,
Hmm.
family,
Hmm.
your ideas of
Okay.
money, all that.
Yeah.
Charles, that is the whole. That's
Got
the
it.
tent. If
So
we
it
don't share
doesn't
the
have to be everything.
no,
It,
it
right? Okay.
no, and part of the worldview is that we agree we want to raise our kids to go to school and to be high functioning. Or it sounds simple, but how about another?
Hmm.
I want to expose our kids to a lot of different activities.
Yeah.
No, I want the kids to be
Okay.
academic, but you can
Got it.
blend that. Shared worldview is that we work together on them.
Hmm. Okay. Got it. So, I think that it's important to really, really explain what it is. And that's what we're doing because, when you think about worldview, a lot of people today probably operate along the lines of religion, operate
Mhm.
along the lines of politics and things like that. And then this is a little bit more surgical
Uh,
than
this
that
is
stuff, right?
Charles. I want to say that's almost superficial because I've had
Mm,
couples where one's a Democrat, one's a Republican, and over time they come
hmm.
to the middle.
I see. Okay.
But
Got it.
values is I love spending time with you.
Hmm.
Uh, I want to build a life with you. These are values.
Hmm. Hmm.
I believe in
Yeah.
communication. How about
Yeah.
this one, Charles?
Hmm.
A value is being kind is a really good quality.
Right. That's right. Yeah.
That's what we're
Yeah.
talking about.
Absolutely. Uh-huh.
Worldview is that you and I share the same priorities.
Yeah.
Priorities.
Let me throw out something
Yeah.
here. It's a when we talk about worldview, um, also this might include um, if you're talking about the voice in your heart, right? The
Yes.
narrative
Yes.
that your heart has about how the world works and about how
Hmm.
you want to live in that
In it.
world. And that's
Right.
something that you can do with someone who doesn't necessarily share those superficial things with you. So it doesn't necessarily have to be religion. That's top layer stuff.
It
What we're
really is.
talking about is the sound relationship house stuff.
The brick and
Because
mortar.
yeah,
The brick
a
and
lot
mortar,
of us,
Charles.
a lot of us, unfortunately, or I shouldn't say unfortunately, because that may lead to you guys think I'm judging you, but a lot of us, including myself, grew up in
Yeah.
households where religion was quote unquote the worldview, right? But if you really step back and look at that house where religion was quote unquote the worldview, people were doing all types of things that were not in line with the religion. So that really wasn't the worldview. You understand what I'm saying? So,
Those are the,
so
yeah.
yeah, yeah. You know,
That's a good
you
point,
can
Charles.
have completely different
Mm-hmm.
interests, but have some shared primary mission. Okay, a shared primary mission.
Mission. Charles, how
Hmm.
about the other thing is I guess we have different values. Well, do
Hmm.
you guys believe in the golden rule? Charles, tell me where the
Right,
treat others as you treat yourself. Tell me what religion
right.
doesn't include that. Honestly.
That's
Okay.
true. That's true. Yeah, absolutely.
And
And I think the other thing, when you talk about value, you're gonna say something about communication, weren't you? So let me. I beat you to it. I beat you to it.
that's right.
Positive communication can be a value in your marriage, and it
Wait,
should be a value in your marriage.
Charles, it is a value, whether or not you
Hmm.
acknowledge it,
Right,
as
right.
is your intimate physical relationships of value,
Hmm. Yeah,
as is your physical health. Is that value?
right. Absolutely, absolutely.
That's the
Um,
worldview we're talking about.
yeah, yeah, no doubt, no doubt. So, guys, again, those are seven points to having a really
Yes.
happy marriage. These are not points that you hear. Unfortunately, so many
Enough.
people are focused on. We don't hear it enough. So many people are focused on
Mm-hmm.
singlehood. So
Yeah.
many people are looking at. Or another thing I'll tell you guys that's happening is they're looking at people who have been in long-term marriages and going, you know what? Yeah, they've been together for a really long time, but that doesn't mean that they're happy. And you're right. Okay, longevity in and of itself may not necessarily mean that these people are happy. However, I think what's happening is too many people are looking at that devil's advocate position and not realizing, hey man, guess what? A long-term relationship is going to have a lot of ups and downs and in betweens and everything, and you are the individual that decides what the outcome of that thing is going to be. In
Correct.
this day and age, in this microwave society, there are so many
Mm-hmm.
people who are very dismissive of a long-term relationship, and I'm like, guys, whoa.
What? What are we doing?
A long-term relationship doesn't mean unhappiness, and a short-term relationship filled with happiness isn't longevity. Like, you
Right.
can't just like jump off of
Charles.
social media for a minute.
Yeah.
Okay.
Charles, I can tell you something. You and I, long term, uh, doesn't mean long term suffering. Those are
Right.
two.
That's right.
Hey,
Yeah.
Charles, you could be with someone for a year and be miserable.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, you could.
Don't look at the calendar as the measure of success. Look at
Hmm.
what you're doing
Right. Right.
and how you feel. I hate to use the word success, but is it
Hmm.
a source of contentment?
Yeah.
And Charles,
Yeah.
another thing, same sex marriages, whatever, it's still
Hmm.
relationship issues. People are people.
That's right. That's right.
Bottom line,
Absolutely. Yeah, you're right about that. Bottom
people are
line.
people,
That's
man.
it. So listen, guys, just I want to run them down really quick for you all.
Please.
So point number one, okay, for a happy marriage, you got to be friends.
Ooh,
Okay, that's
yep.
it. You got to like each other. Okay. Number two, as Dr. Poulter said, you think like a team. It's a real partnership. You get
Oh
rid of the
man.
I statements. Okay. It's when
Right on.
she has a problem, you have a problem. Number three, you
Huge, huge.
accentuate the
Charles,
positives. Okay. Right.
team is if she has a problem, you've got a problem. I'm sorry, Charles. That is brilliant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah.
It's a team.
Okay.
Keep going, buddy.
So number three, accentuate the positive. Okay. Accentuate the positive. Be an optimist. You've got to be an optimist if you want to be happy in your marriage. Okay.
Yes.
Number four,
Yes.
know how to manage stress. You've got to be willing to sit back and learn some things about yourself.
Yeah.
You've got to be willing to learn more about your wife. And that way you two learn how to navigate stressful situations together. Okay. Number
Correct.
five, know how to manage conflict, learn how to manage conflict, and know that a lot of the conflict that you may have is actually very small. It's not things that you're going to be thinking
Mm-mm.
about 6 months from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now. Okay. Those conflicts that we tend to have are a lot smaller than what we realize. Okay.
Correct.
Number six, learn to enjoy spending time together. Okay. Stop focusing on the little idiosyncrasies or the guy that cut you off in traffic as you all were headed to dinner or to the grocery
Yes.
store, how long it's taken her to pick out the
Mm-hmm.
dress and all of that stuff. Dude, stop it. If you want to be here,
Mm-hmm.
be happy, you're going to have to stop doing that stuff. Okay.
Yep.
And number seven, really become surgical when you're talking about a worldview with your spouse. Go beyond your religion. Go beyond your politics.
Mm-hmm.
Go beyond the things that are trendy today to discover what is the heart of the relationship for both of you and how you approach the world. Okay, so that's the seventh point. That's all that we have for you guys today. Listen, I want to remind you all, make sure
Yes.
that you sign up for our website, okay, tbgmen.com. As I say to you guys all the time, listen, do something to take care of yourselves. When you take care of yourselves, the other people around you will benefit. So love you more, love your people more, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Take care. Thank you, Charles.